Long ago, in the warm and dusty land of Asuba, a grand wedding stirred the hearts of the villagers. The air was filled with music, laughter, and colours so rich they seemed to paint the very sky. Everyone gathered under the baobab tree in the village square, eager to witness a rare event. A young and beautiful woman named Amara, known for her glowing skin and eyes that sparkled like river stones, was marrying Chief Oduwa, the wealthiest man in the region. He was a respected elder, with a towering frame, a cane carved from ebony, and eyes that carried the silence of many seasons. His silver beard fell to his chest, and his hands bore the weight of age, but he walked like one who still carried great purpose. Amara wore a flowing white dress woven with threads of real gold, a gift from the chief. Her wrists jingled with bangles, and her head was crowned with fresh flowers. She smiled, but not with love. Deep in her heart, Amara felt no joy. She had not chosen Chief Oduwa for love. She had chosen him for wealth. She had lived too many years eating cassava from cracked bowls and sleeping on mats shared with 4 siblings. Her mother had died of a sickness that could have been cured if they had money. Her father had broken his back in the mines. Amara had promised herself, never again would she be poor. Never again would she suffer. People in the village whispered behind their fans. She doesn't love him, they said. She just wants his gold. But Amara held her head high. She walked with pride into her new life, believing she had made a smart choice. After the wedding, Amara moved into Chief Oduwa's great mansion at the edge of the village. The mansion sat like a palace, with wide carved doors, tiled floors from distant lands, and golden lamps hanging from the ceiling. The walls were painted with the stories of Oduwa's ancestors, warriors, chiefs, and wise women. Amara slept in silk sheets and bathed in scented water. Servants brought her food in gold dishes, and musicians played for her in the evenings. But inside all the beauty, something felt wrong. The mansion was too quiet. There was no laughter, no joy. Chief Oduwa hardly spoke. He would sit in the garden, staring at the sky, as if waiting for something. One evening, as the sun dipped low and the wind grew cold, he called Amara to his room. He handed her a small wooden box covered in strange symbols. "Open this," he said, "when your heart is ready to understand." Amara took the box and placed it in her jewellery cabinet. She didn't care what was inside. All she cared about was that she was now rich. Only 3 weeks later, Chief Oduwa died in his sleep. His final breath was soft. Amara leaned close and heard him whisper, "Look for truth, not gold." She stared at him, confused, but as the chief's body grew cold, her heart filled with victory. She was now the richest woman in Asuba. She threw a feast to celebrate her new life. Dancers performed. Drums beat loudly. She wore a gold crown and called herself Lady Amara of the Golden House. She was no longer just a village girl. She believed she had won, but her victory was short. A week after the feast, something strange began to happen. First, it was a missing ring. Then, a bracelet vanished. Next, the golden plates and goblets disappeared. At first, Amara thought it was theft. She questioned the servants. Some ran away in fear. Others swore they had seen gold melting into dust. Amara laughed. "Nonsense," she said. But each day more treasure vanished. The walls lost their shine. The air inside the mansion grew cold. Doors creaked even when no one touched them. Mirrors showed shadows that didn't belong. At night, Amara heard whispers. Sometimes she saw a figure in the hall, cloaked in smoke. The mansion, once her dream, had become a place of fear. One moonless night, she was awoken by the deep sound of drums, but no one was playing them. The sound came from under the floor. She lit a lantern and followed the sound down to the basement. There, behind a hidden door, she found a strange room filled with carvings and symbols like the ones on the box. In the center stood a glowing figure, a tall woman made of smoke and light, her eyes bright as fire. "Who are you?" Amara asked, trembling. The spirit spoke in a voice that was both loud and soft. "I am the Spirit of Truth. This house was built with honesty, kindness, and wisdom. You married for gold, not love. You took without giving. You chose greed over truth." Amara fell to her knees. "What do you want from me?" "You must change," the spirit said. "You must help others. Only then can you be free. If you don't, you will lose not just gold, but your soul." The spirit disappeared. The basement fell silent. Amara didn't sleep that night. She sat by the window, watching the stars. She thought about her past, her mother, her poor neighbors, her dreams. The next morning, for the first time, she walked into the village with no jewelry, no fine clothes. People stared, some laughed, others were silent. Amara went to the market. She sold her last gold ring. With the money, she bought tools and called the villagers together. "Let us build a well," she said. "Clean water for everyone." They were shocked, but they followed. She gave her fine clothes to the children with no shoes. She cooked food with her own hands and shared it with the sick and the hungry. She helped repair the broken school. She visited the lonely elders. At first, people were unsure, but soon they began to smile. Children ran to her. Elders blessed her. They called her Mama Amara. Each time she gave something away, Amara felt something grow inside her, something warm and powerful. Her heart felt full in a way gold never could. On the 7th night, the spirit returned. The room filled with soft light. "You have done well," the spirit said. "You have remembered what truly matters." The small wooden box glowed on her table. Amara opened it slowly. Inside was a stone shaped like a heart, glowing softly, and a scroll that read, "The real treasure is in your heart. When you give to others, you become truly rich." Years passed. Amara became a leader, not because she married a rich man, but because the people loved her. She ruled not with power, but with kindness. She helped the sick, taught the young, and welcomed strangers. Her story spread to other villages. People travelled far just to meet the woman who had turned gold into goodness. When Amara grew old, she sat under the same baobab tree where she was once married. Children played around her. Villagers brought her food and sang songs of her life. She was no longer just Amara. She was a queen of the people. When she died, the golden drum in the village beat once, not in sorrow, but in pride. The villagers planted a tree in her honor. and under the roots they placed the heart-shaped stone. Amara had found something better than gold. She had found truth. She had found love. She had found a legacy that would live forever.